Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. Just coming with a little something I want to share with you, what the Spirit of the Most High had given me this morning. Even though I got up thinking I'm going to go into Matthew's 24, and as it speaks of the end days and how the gospel is going to be preached to all nations. And then I want you also understand the level of who he is. And I know that newfound denomination, believe it or not, it is a newfound denomination. It is a religion, and it is, and it's called Hebrew Israelite Movement. And there's many different settings under that umbrella. Okay, there's camps, there's communities, there's churches, there's groups, there's families that set up under that Hebrew Israelite movement. There's many of them that set up under that Hebrew Israelite movement umbrella. Okay, the umbrella is the Hebrew Israelite movement, and I think it's been going on about 25 years, or probably a little longer than that. But I'm speaking of where they are going out of the order. So I'm just going to say 25 because that's what he put on my heart. So 25 years. So the Most High has allowed many that wants to fall away from spirit and truth, let them do so. I want to let you all know this morning when I woke up, my intent was to go into Matthew's 24, and what they were saying in chapter 24 was telling you the end days and what was going on. He was at Mount Olive and he was explaining to the 12, to what it should be come upon the people in the end days. And I love what he said. And it's not yet, but all these other turmoil and destruction is going to take place. And then he said, and the gospel, in spite of all this going on, he said, but in this gospel shall be preached in all nations. See, right there, he's letting you know that my mercy and grace is sufficient. And not only on top of that, mercy and grace is my love, all the way to the very, very, very end. And I know the new religion, a lot of people have gotten under the newfound umbrella Hebrew Israelites, and they have turned the whole biblical into a mindset for one people and one people only. And it's going to take, when it's all over, for many to really understand that they've been going down the wrong and toward the wrong gate, because it's nothing in this religion with the newfound awakening movement, and it's an umbrella with different people up under it. You know how the umbrella, it goes, it's round and it's one handle, but it's many different religions up under it. And believe it or not one of them are on one accord. Not one, not even the handle of the umbrella is on one accord. So here they under this umbrella, and under this umbrella, they are taking many to fall away. Many are falling away because the newfound religion, a Hebrew Israelite movement, is a religion that teaches people that they are all that and some. It don't teach people to draw to the Creator, the one who holds all power and authority, the one who has all love and compassion and mercy and grace, uh, the one who wants us to walk in the light, the one who wants us to see the light and walk in the day therefore, and trust in him and believe in him, that one that holds the faith, the gift of faith, the one that holds the gift of endurance, the one that holds the gift of long suffering, the one that holds the gift of for his name's sake, the one that holds the gift of it all. That there does not stand under that umbrella. And because it does not stand under that umbrella, they can't see. nor can they hear, because the ear that needs to hear in this day and time past, that ear is the Holy Spirit. And that's why he called it ear, not ears, because the natural ears is under the umbrella. The natural eyes is under this umbrella. And you notice the umbrella represents rain and cloudy. You pull out your umbrella when it's rainy and cloudy. And that's the type of people that is under this newfound religion. And it is a religion called the Hebrew Israelite, because they set everything up just like the Catholics, just like the Christians, just like the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Baptists, the Buddha, set it up in all kind of categories where me is all it's about. And what they don't understand is this: you have to see this creator to be bigger than you. And they won't see past that. They think in that nothing is important than who they are, not even the creator himself. And the reason why I say that is because me being on this platform is not a choice of mine. Okay. I know that he created this whole, not created, but he has suffered everything that was, that is, and that shall come. He has created it to be. Okay. Now, is he working the action of everything? No, but he created everything to be. So, with that being said, when I say in Matthew's, I woke up to really cover a lesson in Matthew's 24, and I wanted to really expound on at the end time where he said all nations shall be, this gospel should be preached to all nations. Right there, I see something different that anybody or any religion and anybody that's under the umbrella of the Hebrew Israelite religion, I see a love. I see grace and mercy. Still at the very end, rest grace and mercy and love. Why? Because he's still saying that he's allowing it to the gospel to be preached to any and everyone on the four corners. So almost like giving a chance, So it leads me to believe he didn't say to a nation, he said nations. So it's like a final warning. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, wait a minute, Father, y'all, wait a minute. Now hold up. All this chaos is going to take place in chapter 24 of Matthew's. But yet at the end, there's still hope in your love and your grace and your mercy. This sort of thing, this newfound religion, Hebrew Israelite movement, will not put up under that umbrella, because it's just about the newfound religion is about a people who say that everything in the earth don't mean anything outside of them. And what they don't understand, this thing didn't take place once Genesis hit, or Abraham came on the scene, or Isaac, or Jacob. This thing was before the foundation of the world. And many times I've told you all that the Most High the first thing he fully taught me when I was at age, and I think it had to be like 12 or 13, he was telling me about and showing me in the spiritual realm what took place before the foundation of the world. And with him teaching that to my spirit, it allowed me to be locked in to where it's no turning back. I can't get on these platforms with you all or the way you want me to and bow down to what you're saying and honor what you're saying and uplift what you're saying, because my calling was called out before heavens and earth was even created. I'm called for a time as this. I was called, ordained, appointed, and anointed as a time as this, to even speak the way that I'm speaking unto you. So before I could come before you, he first had to seal something in me. Let me set an example. A lot of people don't really know a lot. They are just under a newfound religion that leads them to understanding. And the understanding they're leading them to have drawn them in the great falling away from the Creator, the Most High Yah. So therefore, a great number of the people, when they thinking that this United Snakes has them bent, they don't even understand. They themselves have bent themselves and a nation and their nation. You see, so therefore, a lot of things in which they're actually believing under this new awakening. The Most High is allowing it because a lot of them thinking that the promise was that all Israel and all Jerusalem is going to walk into all Judah going to walk straight into the New Jerusalem. Now you have to understand when he say that all Israel and all Jerusalem, as far as being saved, you got to be understand saved from what? Just like he told Abraham about the promise, you got to understand what is the promise. And I want to explain something to you all. When I say that he taught me at 12 and 13 about what took place before the foundation of the world, he sealed it in me. That means when I come before you all on these platforms and I'm hearing you, I can discern if you know what you're saying in spirit and truth. And if you don't know, it's not to me important that you can precept. Okay, you can line, you can little here, or you have all these books that's connected. See, and that's where they're lost at. Every religion can find thousands of books. They can get into that biblical, and they can even take certain verses and match it to manipulate the people and to lead the people to believe what they want them to believe. But what people don't understand, it takes you from Yah. Let's set an example. When I see Abraham being included, being counted into righteousness, I saw someone in a vision. See, Abraham wasn't in the natural being accounted, he was in the spirit being accounted. You get what I'm saying? Right then, Yah is saying to you all that minds know me because I have willed them from the heavens level before the foundation of the world. These are minds that were sent here. And we're going to cover that in Matthew's 25. And that was a lesson I wasn't about to go over. I was in 24 trying to get that message of in the gospel shall be preached to all nations, and that's what I was going to cover this morning. But he took me to 25. He want me to kind of cover the fact of how I can see behind seeing and hear behind hearing, and not so much just see with my natural eyes and hear with my natural ears, that there's a spiritual ear and the spiritual eyes to see. See, you're blind in the natural, but you can see in the spirit. You're deaf in the ears, but you can hear with the ear, which is spirit, you see, from the Most High Yah. So when Abraham was counted to be righteous in Yah, and he was ushered in, if you read it, you'll see that he wasn't in the natural thinking or the natural mindset. He was in spirit. He was in the vision. You get what I'm saying? And even when he was told about Israel and the tribe of Judah, his seed, he was told that not cold out with a dark cloud upon him. You see, that's pretty much darkness. Why is it that he was done like that? Why? Because Yah wants you to understand something which you cannot, except you have the spiritual eye to see and the spiritual ear to hear. You cannot hear it. But when he send those hens out, he's sending them out to complete the mission in which he has ordained in them. You see, and it's not ordained to make sure people get it. It ain't ordained to make sure people understand it. It ain't ordained that people come and accept it. Why would you know that? That's why when Yeshua came, didn't nobody believe, even those that was with him. You see? So you have to understand how this creator rumbled, but you can't understand how he rumbled if you have not allowed him to abide in you, in your spirit, to be the eye that you need to see and to be the ear that you need to hear. His spirit teaches, show you things, bring things to your remembrance. These things we need to be partaker in who he is. Okay. So what Sister Deborah is saying is Abraham the things that Yah had instilled in Abraham, and we as a nation of people have made out of a religion and have put it under umbrella unrighteously. We have put the Hebrew Israelite movement under an umbrella, and everybody that serve and worship under this umbrella, they don't understand that they're not seeing in the spirit. They're not hearing the ear. You know that he said, "He that has an ear, let him hear." You under this umbrella, they just stuck under a religion that don't let them go bypass. That will not allow them to bypass not being hating, not loving, not having compassion for one another, not unity, no mercy for each other. No, nothing is under this umbrella. But what they newfound denomination, our men are still running around here trying to reveal to our young men and women that they are the people. Why ain't you trying to reveal something greater than being the people, which is the Most High Yah, His light, His love, and His mercy? Why ain't we putting all of that under the umbrella and manifesting that up under that umbrella? It's because we are not walking in the light. We're walking in darkness, and we're putting our flesh under this umbrella to be away from and all these different people who's talking about Hebrew and the chosen. They're all running under this umbrella in ignorance, not even paying any attention to the fact that you're not serving a living Most High Yah. That umbrella is designed to be a God to you, to manipulate you and deceive you out of the light. Yah is shining light, just like in the days of Noah, when all that stuff was going on. You have to go before He called Noah to this order. You have to know that what was going on in the Creator that created it and just wanted to destroy it the moment He created it. The first chapter. What made Him want to do that? No one cares. You know why? They're so busy with their newfound religion and their newfound denomination that matches the Christians, the Catholics. It matches everybody else's. And that is, when I say everybody else, it's a flesh understanding. It has no weight, no power. Because what they lost is they under this umbrella. Let me tell you what's under this umbrella. What's under this umbrella is no power, no authority, no love, no mercy, no grace, no unity. Everything that you can name that's the opposite of all of that is what you find under this umbrella. You cannot find them in nowhere coming on one accord. Only one thing they all come on one accord with. Not even in Yah. They argue about His name, His purpose. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. David, they argue about everything outside of what is natural. Everything natural, they go up under. They go straight under this umbrella and they believe everything. But if you speak spiritual and give them some light, they don't allow light under these umbrella. And the people are loving it. And this is fine because it's not something that Yah did not see before the foundation of the world, but He has suffered. Even those who have had sheep clothing on for a long time and are wolves, Yah let them go right ahead. But what they do not understand, under that newfound religion called Hebrew Israelite movement, okay, there is nothing that represents the Most High Yah, the Creator. Nothing. Because their religion is based on me, 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 me. Who we, and me is. It's not founded on leading them to love, compassion, repenting, unity. And it's not going to be. But see, Yah is going to do something miraculous in these days. So I'm going to go into Matthew chapter 25, because that's where He led me. And we're going to start with verse 14. And I want to share with you that wasn't my intent to cover Matthews, but He wants me to give you a kind of an idea. As I read it, I was like, but what you want me to give? He said, give it to him in spirit. No one hears you in spirit. Start giving it to them in strictly no flesh. Give it to them in spirit, what I am saying. And it's not because Deborah have failed. It's because we are in that day. Okay? And above in chapter 25, as I kind of went over it a little bit, and I see that this is where what was it, the brides, groom, let me see now, the lamps, the wait a minute, the virgins, which has their lamp, 5 had and 5 didn't. And then he wanted me to drop past all of that and go into verse 14. So we're going into Matthew's 25 and verse 14. But I just wanted to let you know 25, even at the beginning, covers those that have it and those who do not. Okay. Okay. And it's you have to be able to read this by natural seeing, but spiritual understanding. Natural hearing, but spiritual hearing. You see? You can hear them in your natural ears, but you can understand it in your spirit. You can see it in your natural eyes, but you see it in the spiritual setting, in the way that Yah created it. That's why I say a lot of people they can precept, they can do whatever you want. You can learn Torah all day and night, but except you see it in the spiritual realm, meaning the way, the will of the Father. So I glorify him and I thank him for what took place before the foundation of the world, because in that is where I was sealed, like Abraham and many others. They were sealed from heaven's level. They didn't come here and be sealed, okay? Because Abraham didn't do anything to be accounted outside of being a vision, and he accepted. Because he wasn't even in his natural, he was in a vision and believed. Go back and see. And then he was knocked out to the point of death with the dark cloud when he were told about his seed. See, this is how Yah root stuff in you. He have to put the flesh totally down. He have to bring the flesh to a spiritual realm so he can get you to get something. So people that's under this umbrella, they under the fleshly realm. They under the fleshly understanding. They see with the fleshly eyes. They hear with the fleshly ears. You see, because they're under the umbrella. You see, and that's all they want. And they feel that that's all they need. Because how would I say it? When the fire take its course to refine, when it takes its course in this day, many going to run from under that umbrella. Many are going to run to and fro. You know why? Because they're going to start to realize that it wasn't under the umbrella. Because the umbrella can't bring you safety. The umbrella can't redeem you. The umbrella can't deliver you. The umbrella can't save you. Under that umbrella can't do nothing but lead your flesh to understand the things in your flesh to make you feel fleshly satisfied in your fleshly mind and in your fleshly heart. Okay, so y'all want me to cover Matthew's 24, chapter 24 and verse 4. And it reads, oh, my glasses. These is my newest, my latest in the new glasses, but they are horrible because they took the line out and you can't even, it just, this is really bad for me, but I'm going to press on because y'all switch me from Matthew 24 to go to 25, and it's all well with me. Let's go to Matthew 25, verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country. Now, you can see it and you can read it, you can precept, you can line it, you can do whatever you want. But see, when Sister Deborah sees it, she don't see it the way she spoke it. When I'm reading it, the kingdom of heaven is, so this came from the kingdom, strictly from the kingdom. This whole idea came strictly from the kingdom. Is as a man traveling into a far. So from heaven to here is far country, a distance. a mighty distance. Okay, let's go over that again. Verse Matthew 24 and verse 14. For the kingdom of heavens is as. Anytime Yeshua have to say the kingdom of heaven, Yah, that's when you have the keys to the kingdom of understanding and seeing and hearing in the spiritual realm. It's when you have the keys. 99.9 that's under the umbrella does not have the keys because they're under a God like unto their forefathers. They prefer this to someone they can worship and praise, like and subscribe in the natural. They don't want to have no understanding outside of that. So y'all let them do so. But here it says in 14, for the kingdom of heavens is as. And that's what make me, that tells me that this is something that strictly came from the throne from above. Okay, from heaven itself. A man traveling into a far country. That's telling me that there are those that Yah has elected to come down to the earth, okay, and in them he invested something in them. Let's go on. This is for who called his own servant, and his own represent he elected his owns to come down. His owns, okay, he elected his owns. Now explain that. Remember, he said he created the wicked for the days of evil. See, everybody thinking, that's why I said they got to be very careful because they don't understand what the seed is. It is spirit, okay? They don't understand the chosen and the children and the promise itself. The promise itself first have to be understood spirit before natural. But those that's under the umbrella, they only can see it natural and the natural way in which they natural mind can comprehend it. Okay, now in here it says, for the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country. And what that is who called his servants, his own servant. So it's Yah who have called his own. You know how Yeshua was saying, these that I have, my father gave. See what I'm saying? Even he knows that Yah calls his own. You see, even Yeshua will tell you, my father have given me. And that's what this is saying. This is a plan from heavens that has to reach the earth, that has reached the earth from the throne, because it is his plan. Okay, now watch this here. From afar. So we know from heavens who called his own. So Yah called his own servants and deliver unto them his goods, his will, his will, his will before they got down here. Okay? He called them. Let's go back here. He called his own. Okay? Why does he want you to know in this here parable? Is because we have to understand there's a difference from those that are called by Yah from the kingdom and those that are called not in his as his servant, but are called in the mission. You see, we have to give that power and authority and right back to the creator of it all, the one that sits on the throne with the right hand, who is the beloved, have his right hand is the beloved, his right hand is the only begotten, his right hand is Christ, his right hand is all power. Okay? We have to give that back to him, to whom it belonged to. It don't belong to us. And it don't belong to us to be able to divide it in any way that we want to. Even though we in the flesh, we can do that. It means nothing but that which to the flesh. We know where the flesh ends up. But we have to understand him in the spirit of who he is. Now, but he didn't send these servants down. You see? Now, who are these servants? His own. His own represents pure, strictly heaven sent. The way I wanted it to be. The way I wanted it to be, strictly sent. I know who's who. I sent the 12 and I knew who's who. There was always one in a bunch. But that's okay. Everything has to be set there as a parable as well. Yeshua had to give us some examples. There's a difference then when there's a parable, and there's a difference in when he's sending his word. You have to be able to know when he said heavens is like unto, or here, like it says, the kingdom of heavens is as. We have to understand it's going all the way to the throne of the Most High God. Now, you see how I say you can't precept that. You can't line that. Because it's all in a spiritual realm where you have to spiritual precept it. You have to spiritual hear it so you can spiritual line it. You see? A little here and a little there. You got the spiritual precept here and there. You got to get out of this umbrella, from under this umbrella, to be able to do that. Because as long as you're under that umbrella, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to remain under that umbrella. And when the fire is kindled and it begin, it's coming for you. It's coming for you under that umbrella, as well as many others, because you sat up under that umbrella for too many years. Have you ever thought, well, wait, okay, we've been in slavery for 400 years. Why isn't we going to suffer the idea that all nations going to hate us now? Why are they hating us now? They didn't hated us for 400 years. Now it's going to still be some more time where they going to hate us to the point where they going to take our lives innocently and just like they did back in the beginning? Yes, there's a reason. There's a reason, because you have gotten under that umbrella of the Hebrew Israelite movement of man. And it holds no power, no safety, no authority, no righteous, no nothing, but leading you to a people that wants to have the power, the authority, and the right. And it took you from a creator of all power and the light and the mercy and the grace is still showering out to you, because he's faithful in what he says. Okay, now watch as we hear. Now, see, this is why teaching is really deep for me, because I just can't get off of just one verse. I can't even get off the one verse, one sentence. Let known's a verse. I try to get out, and I can't, because there's so much in it spiritual. You get what I'm saying? To where I just can't pull in and pull out. Many of them get on here and teach for 5 minutes, 10, 15, 20. And I said, Father, why is it I can't? He said, because you see too much of it. You know the truth behind it. And that makes so much sense, because you're trying to teach this thing, but you're trying to give it to them the way the Most High has put it in you, and the way he has allowed your eyes to see and your ears to hear. And you're trying to teach, and you can. You just can't get out of it in 10, 5, 2 minutes, but you try, okay? And here in this one, we still in 14 now, y'all, and we into 32 minutes. We still only on one. Let me go on and cover this. And it says, who called his servant. Now, this is his servant, heaven. He telling you heaven called his servants. And he allowed them to travel, come from the heavens, his own servants. He letting you know he handpicked this. Yes, for him. Okay. And delivered unto them his goods. What is his goods? I'm going to tell y'all something. When he had given gifts. Now, see, this is Yeshua giving you this here kingdom of heaven message. And the goods that Yah has invested in us, like I told you all before, it wasn't when we got down here, you all. It wasn't when we got in our mother's womb and he formed us. No, it was before the foundation of the world, and when he had already predestined the gifts to be invested in those that he have sent down here, his servants. Okay? So these gifts that he has given us is like unto the heart of man. The heart of man trusts in what on this face of the earth? The heart of man is strong toward what? Just think. And a man would take your life. He'll let you do whatever you want to his wife, his children, his family. But don't mess with his money. You see what I'm saying? Money. So Yah is setting up a parable in that which he knows that man's heart is heavy toward, which is an example of talent, money. So that's how he rumbled from the heavens, because he knows all things, and he can do that. So here he said he sent his servants with and delivered unto them. He gave them his goods. What is his goods? His goods is the fruit of the Spirit. Okay. It's the ear to hear. It's the eye to see. It's the things in the spirit realm to be able to complete this journey. Okay. So Yah's gifts are the things that represents him in the spirit. He don't have no natural gift. He ain't finna give you no piano. He ain't finna give you no guitar, no drum set, no car. I know they get in the church and they start saying that, but I'm gonna tell you, he ain't about that. He's about giving you the spiritual gift. That's why he says, seek ye the kingdom, y'all. All the spiritual things. And then all that you want natural shall be added. They don't want that. Not under this umbrella. They said, seek the Hebrew Israelite movement. Walk with us. Get into our clique. Let us be your Lord. Let us be your God. Let us lead you and guide you. And the people running like, woo! And it's sad. But it's sad, but it's glad because Yah done prophesied it. He already given it to them. And a lot of them, they on this horse call, oh, he said it, it's going to come to pass. And we might as well accept it. Yeah, you might as well accept it because you're under that umbrella. And you need to accept it because you don't accept nothing else that's spirit and truth. Okay, so yes, you accept it. Oh, and it's going to come to pass. Those that's under, it's going to come to pass. And you can realize, just like the 5 virgins, the 10. 5 had, 5 didn't. While you under that umbrella, you under there and you steadfast. You ain't putting no oil in your lamp. You ain't getting no oil for your lamp because you under this umbrella called the Hebrew Israelite movement. You don't want to go nowhere else beyond that. And Yah's going to let you stand under there. What is the umbrella for? Protection from what? Getting wet? From the sun? You see? It's a form of what one thinketh is a protection from something. And they don't understand. The only protection we have is the one that created everything, and he even put a shield over the whole earth. You see? And we don't take to that. We ain't looking at that umbrella that has been put over us by the Most High Yah. We ain't trying to find out what that is. We ain't trying to find out the things which is spirit and truth. We trying to find out everything is under the umbrella of a new denomination called Hebrew Israelite movement. And it is a umbrella. So here in verse 14, he's letting you know everything he said in the kingdom of heavens. He letting you know this came strictly from the throne. That's what Yeshua is saying. Strictly from the throne of heaven, meaning the plan of Yah. Okay. And travel far. That's how far those that Yah has called. Okay. Okay. Of his own. That means the elect's servants. And he delivered to each one of them. Okay. He delivered it to him. Why? Because when we were born, we didn't, the gifts were manifested in us, but yet it hadn't been delivered for the time and season which he has appointed. So when it's time for us to use it, it comes full force as a deliverer. Boom, there it is. There it is. You see? So in verse 15, it says, and to one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another one, every man according to his several abilities. Every man according to his several abilities, and straightway took his journey. See, this is the Most High. One thing is beautiful about this here, he only lets you know a small portion of talent did he give us. He didn't give us it all. That's why Sister Deborah say the body of Hamashiach. We need them all because they are the elects. They have all the gifts they're in. To where anything we wanted, we could have called it out and it would have been. It wouldn't have changed. Let me get that straight. The will of the Father. It would have walked there in his will, but yet showed us his glory. You see, but we under an umbrella over here. The same umbrella our forefathers was under. An umbrella that has a handle of a God, and the top of it is a God. that we want to be under. And that's where Yah suffer us to be. Okay. And meaning allow. And here in 15, and what I like about that, he didn't give us a whole bunch of talents. He just gave us according to the ability that he knew he had invested in us. Not that we had invested in ourselves. Don't forget, we flesh. So these talents in which he gave had to be spiritual because they came from afar. You came from afar, and he dispersed you, delivered it to you according to his goods to you, not your goods, his goods. That's Yah. Okay, and that's why it says the heavens. It says at the beginning of 14, the kingdom of heavens, letting you know this came strictly from the throne. Now listen to this here in verse 15. And unto one he gave 5, to another 2, to another 1. I like that because he lets you know that he didn't put a whole, like a lot of people claim to have all these here abilities that they even on the devil platform to where everybody rushing to them, hearing them as if they have all the abilities. We don't have it all. Sister Deborah tell you any time of the day, I have about 20%. And that ain't nothing compared to if you see the speck of who I am in the body of Hamashiach, you say, oh man, you just a pin needle. Just imagine a body. And then you just a little pin needle in that body. But yet, you're a part that Yah has placed there from afar to work in it. That's deep, ain't it? Now watch this here. Now what happened here? Okay, let's and straightway he took his journey. So straightway took his journey. Okay, now watch this here. Then verse 16. Then he that received the 5 talent went and trade with the same and made other 5 talents. These talents is likened to, let's say, a man's money. You don't mess with his money. You see, on this earth, 99.9, you can mess with him in any way, but 99.9 of the time, you can't mess with his money. That's why the parable was set as a talent. With Yah, let me tell you, the talents that he hath given them, they were precious. Those are abilities and gifts. That's why Sister Deborah can't sit here and praise and uplift and glorify you all on this devil platform, because I've been taught what took place before the foundation of the world. Okay, so if I was taught that, why should I come to here to the earth and continue to bow down under the umbrella and those that are under the umbrella? I can't do it because I know what's under the umbrella. You see, and I know that I have a mission, and everything that's in me holds those talents in which he has given me. So I'm here assigned by Yah to take these talents and bring them forth. Okay. And notice he gave 5, he gave 2, and he gave 1. That's like saying that all your life from the time you hear to the time you leave, those gifts that's invested in you shall be dispersed, and someone is going to get something out of it. You got 5, now you got 10. From how old? Say if I'm 59. You got 5 talents. I gave you 5 gifts. Guess what? You have brought 5 souls to the light. You have brought, you have added, you double it. The gift that I've given you, you brought to me 5. You see? Look at the 2. Look at the 1. Now, you have to understand, these are talents that was given to them when he returned, meaning a lifespan of while you were here. That's the returning. It don't mean into eternity. It says when he come. That means when your life ends, what would you have to show for the gifts that he invested in you? Did you make a difference in 5 if he gave you 5 lives? Did you make a difference in 2? What about 1? See how he did that? This is what talents represents to him. It's spiritual. What are you bringing back spiritual to me? What are you bringing? Is you bringing 5? I gave you 5. Bring me back 5 spiritual. Bring me back 2 spiritual. Bring me back 1. You see how beautiful that is? You see how beautiful that is? He ain't asking you to bring him the multitude. I'm going to set an example. Look how many he gave Yeshua. I'm going to see you. How many did he have? He didn't have the multitude. The multitude, he was just leading and showing his signs and wonders and giving parables. But he had what? 12. Out of all that time, 12. You see? Yah is one. Now that was Yeshua. You see? So just imagine if Sister Deborah is here and Yah has given me 2 talents or 1. Okay? Say for instance that I'm sure my message has brought one spirit back to his bosom, directed back to his bosom. If I had 1, at least 1, you see how beautiful that is? He ain't made it hard for you. He ain't done nothing to you. It ain't been hard. Life ain't been hard. He hath predestined it all. So why don't we give him the glory and the praise and the honor? Oh, because we ain't got the sense. We up under the umbrella called Hebrew Israelite movement. It's about us, we the people. What about what I'm talking about now? What about what Yeshua come to talk about? What about all this here? Giving you the parables, I mean, not the parables, but giving you the kingdom of heaven set up. Do you know anything about the kingdom of heaven set up? No, because they're not going to tell you these things. But Yah has his that comes here and speak not only the natural, but will bring you in the spiritual. But no, the people don't want that. They want to make you wrong so that they can be right. And that's sad because I can just imagine what Yeshua had to go through. I think he did a wonderful job, an excellent job. But I thank the Most High for giving him that set time, that young set time, because he didn't need to have to sit amongst 100% injustice and unrighteous, and he's 100% righteous. Okay, so when you go to verse, let's go to verse 16 in Matthew 25. Then he took, wait a minute, and then he that had received 5 talents went and traded with the same and made them other 5 talents, putting it into people what is spirit and what is truth. So Sister Deborah been on this platform really expounding on the light quite a long time. So a lot of times when people say, oh, she bashing our men and she bash, you doing right, I'm going to bash. In the flesh, I shall bash, but in the spirit, I shall rise those that are not in the light. My whole ideal is make sure you get to the light. It ain't about the ideal, oh, she bashed. That's because you don't want me saying nothing about that newfound religion under the umbrella. But that newfound religion don't worship my Most High Yah. It's not founded under the light, the power and the authority of my Most High Yah. It ain't founded to be righteous. It have set up the same God in which their forefathers have set up. It has stood under the umbrella, still yet stiff-necked, rebellion and disobedience. Okay, now it says in verse 17, and likewise he that had received 2, he also gained other 2. He's saying, like, let's use me. If he sent me down here, okay, from afar, from heaven, and he gave me 2 spiritual gifts, okay, those 2 spiritual gifts should be manifest on the earth, okay, to bring and usher others back into the throne. What is it about to Yah? Do you think it's about a people? Do you think it's about Hebrew Israelites? Flesh? These people don't understand. They flesh. You don't get to walk in the spiritual eternal until you become spirit, until you see the light. You cannot just become all that and some and bring up a new denomination. You all this and all that and all that, and you can do what you want, you can say what you want, you can rule, you can king. All you see on this here devil platform, these men categorizing themselves as king, leader, ruler. because that's what's in their heart of heart. That's what's in their flesh. I would bypass all of that to have the gifts that Yah has instilled in those that he have given talents. Now, verses 17, and it says, and likewise he that had received two, he also gained other two. Okay, that's good. That's beautiful. And I understand these talents represent something that Yah looks for. Because when he sent you down, he wanted you to at least double what I've given you. So the gifts that I've given you, the talents that I've given you should manifest at least two if I've given you two. It should manifest at least five if I've given you five. Now watch this here. But he that had received one, this is verse 18. Listen to what he said. Went and digged in the earth. Now we know what the earth represents, the flesh. We know the earth represents the flesh. Remember that flesh that was wrapped, Adam was created out of? See, he went to dig that and hid his Lord's money. See, he hid his talents. Notice his talents came out. See, look here. He came out of, notice in verse 5, he called them talents. Notice in verse, wait a minute, 16, he called them talents. Why, when you come to the one that has one, went and dug in the earth and hid his Lord money. Now it become money. Why did that one become money when the other ones become talents? See, this is where you have to be able to understand spirit, because he went into a fleshly realm. You see, that's what Yah is sending a message to you all right now while you under that umbrella of the Hebrew Israelites. He said, you keep on walking under there and you keep getting your flesh satisfied, thinking it's about a worldly and fleshly thing and about a Hebrew Israelites, tribe of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the reason why Sister Deborah can't step in that realm and join you is because I knew what took place before the foundation of the world was I taught in my first year in high school. So therefore, I can't go bypass what he's shown me that happened before, because Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob wasn't in there. So I have to step in that spirit realm, stay in there, and walk therein. Now, here, if you notice that one talent became flesh. He got down here and he wanted to get under the umbrella that you all are under. Okay, but look what does it says? After a long time, the Lord of those servants cometh and reckon with them. What do reckon mean? Reason. He reckoned with them. And verse 20, and so he that had received 5 talents came and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou delivered unto me 5. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents. Now it's become back talents. Why? Because the 5 manifested spiritual, that which belonged to Yah, he doubled. Spiritual, you guys. Okay, the one that had the 1 talent, he didn't manifest anything spiritual. He manifested fleshly to himself. That's a lot of you all on this devil platform. You all got on here with the intent to do right and went down what the road called wrong and unjust and unrighteous and condemned and slid on all kind of sheep clothing for many years, knowing that you have turned into a wolf to eat up the people. And they just sit among you and allow you to do just that, to steal the joy and the peace. Don't people understand you don't have that joy? What happened to that peace that passes understanding? What all that? Why? Because it's spiritual. And you ain't looking for that, because it's not going to be found under that umbrella. They're trying to even unite as if the men sit and tell you need a man to protect you. Who's going to protect you in this which Yah has prophesied to come to pass, to happen. How a man gonna protect you in that? Think, y'all. See, you're not here. You're here in the flesh. You're not here in the spirit. Okay. Now, in 20 it says, and so we in Matthew 25 and verse 20. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought and brought other 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou delivereth me 5 talents. Where I'm at, 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. Praise Yah. Verse 21. And the Lord said unto him, Well done, thy good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things, and I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter into the joy. There go that joy. I've just got to telling you that joy, that peace that passes understanding of thy Lord. Okay, here go, and that's the Jerusalem. Listen to this. In verse 22, he also that had received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou delivered unto me 2 talents. You gave me 2 gifts in the spirit. Behold, I have gained 2 others, okay, talents besides them, the 2 that you give me. So I double it. I'm not double it. You gave me 2. I have 4 now. Okay. Manifest the gifts that Yah has placed in them before the foundation of the world. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, verse 23. His Lord said unto him, Well done, you good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things, and I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter therein to the joy of our Lord. Now, here go verse 24. Then he which had received 1 talent came unto the Lord and came and said, Lord, I knew thee that thou art a hard man. Now, what kind of crop is that? Don't that sound fleshly? Reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid. Don't that sound like Abraham after he had sinned? Not Abraham. Yeah, Abraham. Not Abraham. Not Adam. Don't this sound like Adam? Watch this here. Verse 25. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talents in the earth. Well, not Adam. Not Adam. Yeah, Adam had him when y'all was calling him. Mm-hmm. Talking about he was afraid. Why? Because sin had entered. You had gotten out of the spiritual realm and you were walking flesh therein. Okay? And talent. And this is what he said. And I was afraid and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, there thou has that is thine. What I have is thine. No, you ain't. Because what you have is worldly. You hid the spiritual gift. That one hid that spiritual gift. He hid the spiritual gift in the earth. So the earth didn't receive, hallelujah, that spiritual gift God had manifested in him because he hid it. And he became flesh. And then he has the audacity to say to the Most High Yah, thou has that is thine. What he has, is his. Oh no, he don't want what you got. That can't enter into the kingdom. Okay, now watch this. And the Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I will reap where I sowed not, and gather where I had not straw. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchanger, and then at my coming I should have received my own with assure. Take therefore the talent from him and give it unto him which has 10 talents. You see? The one that was able to take the 5 gifts that y'all had invested in him and double it, give it to the one that was able to master them 5. Let's give it to him. He made it. He made 10 talents. Okay. For until everyone that has women. For until everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundantly. But from him that has not shall be taken away even that which he has. You see? So while we're running around here thinking we ruling this here, and we under the power and authority of our flesh, and we're going to do it our way. Now, this one that had one, he hid it in the earth. That means he came down here with a precious jewel from Yah, afar from heaven. Precious, afar, mean from heaven, a long distance. This is the power of the Most High Yah. And he sends him down here, and what did he do? He become what the earth is. You see? And then want to hide the gifts and to run the way the world want to live. Look how y'all let him do it. You see what I'm saying? You see how y'all sent him on a mission, gave him the tools to work it, and he decided to hide the tools up under the earth, meaning up under. Never did it's dead. It's in the dirt. It's up under the earth. He hid the talent, the gift, that spiritual gift. And then he has the audacity to think that what he has, it is Yah. Now, he don't want that because it's not spiritual. He wants what is his. He wants you to manifest the gifts that he has placed in you. He wants you to double it. So when I see this, I read it and I hear Yeshua. And every time Yeshua said the heavens is like unto, or the kingdom of heavens is as, I always, it's all in the Old Testament. And I never in my life, in my whole life, have heard anyone teach it. Never. And I've been a lot of places and I've heard a lot of things. I ain't never heard anybody teach that. Why? Because they won't cover what Yeshua is saying. Because when he's setting the word he's given to the anointed ones, because they can receive it. You see what I'm saying? And those that can't, he said, blessing is he that can understand not just the parables, but the word too. Why is that a blessing? It's because they have come down, okay, with the keys to be able to understand the two. You see? And what is the two represent in the spiritual sense? Flesh and spirit. You see that? And I guess I have to really cover the fact that you're not going to get it. Because if your spirit is not grafting anything spirit, and only thing it's able to hold, which is flesh, the umbrella is where you should remain. Because under that umbrella is only for those who are flesh, who have nothing in the spiritual realm that causes them to see in the spirit as well as in the natural, nor hear in the spirit, and still yet have natural ears. So you know it's going to come a time when Yah is going to say, this is what he's going to say. I know that you're deaf. Come on here. Come on here. Come on here. You're going to hear. He's going to say, I know that you're blind, but come on here. You're going to see. You see? Because he has those that are also poor in spirit. You see? That we don't understand that everything he has set it in order. Sister Deborah don't have a hell nor a heaven to send anyone. Okay? But I am called with the talents, which are the spiritual tokens from Yah, to give you what I give you and the way that I give it to you. So understanding Matthew 25, verse 14 and down, understanding those talents, okay? The talents represents what in the heart of Yah, like man represents his money. It is Yah's values that he gives us. when we get down here, he brings it in us. He don't give it to us while we're young, because we could manifest it the improper way. So when it says it here, let me show you what I mean. In verse Matthew 25, verse, okay, right here, verse 14, where it says, for the kingdom of heavens is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his servants. Okay. He called his own servants. No, let me get that right. For who traveling into, wait, kingdom of heavens, traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. He delivered it, you see, because he had time and season in which he deliver it, meaning make it manifest the gifts that he has in store for you, for him, for you, for him. That's why when they brought him the talents in which he gave them, they double it. That showed Yah that spiritual things that he gave them, they manifested double. And that's beautiful. And that's not asking for very many at all. Because look at him, he didn't say he that they gave 20 and 30 and 40. He said 5, 2, and 1. And the one got less. You remember what when Abel and Cain, you see the two? Abel was the one that was sunk down with the spiritual. That's why he was able to give back to Yah what he had produced spiritual. Yah didn't need what he had. Yah didn't need what his crop or the things that he had. He didn't need. No, Cain was a tilter, right? Yeah, and whatever Cain, whatever Abel gave to Yah with the right heart was due Yah, because it was given to him. So you have to be able to see that in the spiritual. That's why I tell you all, when you open that book in Genesis, even when he at the beginning, in the beginning, even the word beginning, you have to be able to be able to see the realm of what he's talking about. And you don't have to, but it depends on who's who and who's who. Honestly, who's who, okay, in him. But that's why Abel was able to give the way he were given, and Cain was able to give the way his heart was given. You see, those were two, okay, two different situations right there. You see how Abel was able to freely and gladly give back to Yah what Yah had issued in him spiritual. You see, he was giving back, and Cain had a heart of heart. He was in the flesh, and he gave back grudgingly, even though he had, but he didn't want to give back grudgingly. He wanted to in a sense serve the earth. You see, with the world, to do it with that heart and heart. And Cain had that heart that was so willing to give back in such a loving way. You see, and then he gave the example to Cain. You would be if you were to be in a sense like Abel, then and give out of the right heart. But see, he couldn't do that, even though he was given. He couldn't do that because that wasn't what he was. He was really for the world. Okay, so he wanted to do it the fleshly way, and he had the fleshly heart mindset. So he did everything he did it the fleshly way, even though he had the right way. Just like Adam and Eve, they had the right, everything righteous, and they still disobeyed. They still didn't do what they were supposed to do or should have done. But don't think that the Most High did not know that, because in spite of what they did in the garden, guess what? And how it brought upon sin, guess what? He still, look at that grace and that mercy, y'all. Said he left the light on, the flaming torch. that we may find our way back to the tree of life. That flaming torch been on, even though we ain't nowhere near the flaming torch nor looking for it. That's spiritual, you guys. Why? Because it leads you to the tree of life. It's the same light that Sister Deborah keep telling you to go to. It's the same light and day that Sister Deborah is trying to get you to go to. Now, where you go? Read Noah. Did they go to the ark? Read it. And if he using the example as Noah and the ark, that's going to be like in this days, it have to match it to the T, y'all. It have to match it to the T. Not match it to where we want to precept and line it, understand it, Torah it, and everything. It's going to have to match it to the T. So Sister Deborah said, I hope I didn't hold you too long, and I hope you got something out of it. But when I'm reading, that's how I see it. I don't see it like you see it in the natural. So I say unto you, shalom and shalom, and I hope you enjoy.